Welcome back to the Mindful Spoon, or just welcome in general. This is a place where we really just talk about nutrition and recently actually athleticism, because I started 6 months ago training for the LA Marathon that's coming up in about 3 weeks. I'm really excited about that. I'm hoping to create more videos about my experience and what it's like to be training as a long distance runner. Marathons are 26 miles and some change. It's been a lot. It still is a lot, and it's terrifying to me to think that I can run that much, and also my legs hurt. With that said, I've been having to supplement myself with different supplements and also take care of my diet. That's something that I've always kind of struggled with in the past, and I'm learning little by little as it goes. Recently, I actually went to Portland and I traveled for a couple of days as a kind of like relaxation type of situation. Sounds like I'm rapping. I wish I was. Anyway, so I try to keep my nutrition up to par when it came to going out on a vacation. One of the biggest things is digestion during a trip. I don't know about you guys, but I get really constipated during trips, and it runs in my family. I mean, everyone else on the trip was constipated. So if you're looking for some tips on traveling while being on a diet, or maybe while on a health journey, because not everyone is on a diet, go ahead and keep watching this video, because we're going to cover a couple of tips and tricks on what you can do to kind of feel better about yourself, glow during that vacation, and have an awesome time. Tip number 1 is make sure you eat before the plane leaves. Now, this can be a little hard when you have a really early morning flight. When you hold off not eating, suddenly all these hormones and all this stress comes into your body, and it just wants to eat anything that is in sight. Even taking like some healthier alternative snacks during the flight is the best thing ever. Even if you're going on a road trip, even if it's a car trip, make sure you incorporate foods with a lot of protein so that it keeps you full and satiated. And guys, please, if you're gonna take anything from this video, drink tons of water during your trip. I cannot tell you how many times my sister and my mom suffered throughout the whole trip because of their stomachs and not being able to go to the restroom. But I was a little bit better at going to the restroom and keeping a regular schedule, all because I drank a lot more water than they did. I know it's really hard, but this will really help you in the long run. Now, if it's a long road trip, make sure you stop by a grocery store or a liquor store or whatever it is and get yourself some macronutrient friendly snacks. This can be whole or dried fruit, freeze-dried vegetables, or protein bars. Make sure the protein bars are also like macro friendly and are not just like sugary bars. I really like rice cakes as things you can take on the go. You can also put toppings on them if you would like. I think one of the things that I did during this past trip was we went to Target and I grabbed a couple apples. I got a little bit of hummus and tons of water. Tip number 2 is find activities and destinations that will provide movement to your body. This does not mean you have to go racing out in a giant mountain. It does not. That's like not even close to what I'm trying to explain to you here. If it means literally just stepping out of the hotel room and like walking around the small town that you're in, or if it means like actually driving to a hiking destination, driving to some type of like destination that will give you movement, a beach, whatever it is, do it. Swimming, I love swimming. Tip number 3 is everything in moderation. I'm gonna be completely honest and just give you a story here. The last time I went to Portland, we went to a taco place that was an all-you-can-eat taco place, and I went all out. I literally binged my way through that taco aisle. By the end of the trip, my whole trip was just filled with stomach aches and going to the restroom, like literally sprinting to restrooms because I needed to go to the restroom so bad because I ate so much. My body was like in shock at how much food I had eaten. Make sure you also add in some fiber. By fiber, I mean maybe adding fruits to your meals, beans or legumes to your meals, vegetables to your meals. Tip number 4 is do not skip meals. One of the things that I would always do during my trips is skipping meals. And by that I mean not eating breakfast and then just waiting until like lunch, sometimes even dinner. This is where the snacks that you've bought previously will really help you out. Because instead of just waiting and then just being in like a hunger strike for the longest time ever until dinner comes around, you'll have snacks for you to eat. Especially if it's fiber rich and protein rich snacks, you will feel a lot fuller and it'll kind of hold you on until the next big meal. Also, every time I've been constipated during a trip, it has been times that I literally skip meals and I just probably eat like once a day, and it's all because I have nothing in my stomach. And by the time that last meal comes in, or that first meal during the day comes in, I am like ravenous and I'm so hungry. I eat everything, my stomach hurts, I don't have a good night's rest, and then the next day I'm like in a bad mood. So as you can see, this is kind of like a domino effect. And the last tip, tip number 5, is don't be too hard on yourself. Decide if sticking to your diet or your health journey is 100% logical during this trip. I'm really not trying to discourage you from it, but sometimes you have to be realistic. If you're really hard on yourself during a vacation, a time where you're supposed to relax, then y'all see that, right? Try to enjoy your time. Don't be too hard on yourself. This was technically my birthday trip, and although I really wanted to stick with a good digestion in mind, I also really just wanted to enjoy food. So make sure you try to incorporate both things and add movement to it. Just remember to incorporate some type of macronutrient meal within your day, which is carbs, fats, and protein, to keep you satiated and to keep you really in a good mood and just open to enjoy things. If I wanted ice cream, I would get that ice cream. If I wanted biscuits, I would get that biscuit. But I would also make sure to have something that will help my digestion along the way. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This was just some insight onto what I kind of learned throughout this trip and how big of an impact digestion has in your life. And don't be afraid to incorporate these in your daily life, like drinking more water, eating more fiber. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I will see you on my next one. Bye.